Good afternoon and welcome back to OS World Cup B-Stream Group Stage action. Those of you who stuck around from our last match get a treat as we are staying in the very same group for back-to-back matches. Just saw Team Chile, the 10th seed overall, taking down Team France by a score of 5-2. And they are going back-to-back. They are playing again here. It's going to be against Team Italy, the number 23 overall seed. And this one is going to be interesting. Italy yet to win a point here in the group stage. It's only one. Yet to win a point here in the group stage. I apologize. And so point differentials are going to start to matter. Let's just leave it at that for the moment while I introduce myself to this one guy. Joining me for this match is going to be Hubba Wubba for a meaningful group stage match, if not on paper, one that looks to be the most competitive. Italy holding on to a shred of hope just to get a single point on the board.
Yeah, and this is a match that Chile, there could be some trickiness going on if Italy pulls off what is perceivably the biggest upset of the tournament, right? We were talking about this prior to the stream starting, and if Italy were to win this match, we could have some what-if situations where we have three teams, 1 and 3, pending how France-Spain goes next week. There could be some trickiness there, and Italy warmed up after the last one, regardless of the Spain sweep. Spain on this great tear through this group so far, in Chile looking to get their one-up point differential-wise on this matchup.
Yeah, Chile and France currently tied 1-1 records each, positive 2-point differential each. And so every little bit counts, every map matters. And Italy can kind of play spoiler a little bit, Chile can just kind of lock themselves in at a 2-1 with a pretty good point differential. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Start things off with Chile once again banning out that No Mod 1. They banned it against France. They'll ban it again here against Italy. Italy's ban to come next. And it's going to be the hidden 2. Not too surprising. Huh. Chile, good at reading, as it turns out.
Yeah, quite good at reading. Surprised that they take out Coconut Love in comparison to Chocolate Disco, the No Mod 3, but I do feel as though Coconut Love this weekend has been a little bit more 50-50 than you would expect. A lot of misses being dropped on those kickslider patterns on the AR8. So Italy getting rid of that potential 50-50, leaving the other reading map in No Mod 3 wide open.
And contrary to maybe what you would have expected, Chile gonna not pick the reading map first that was left up, and they're instead gonna go into the DT pool. They're going to opt into that DT2. It's gonna be Elder Things. This is our quite fast 255 BPM DT pick. Pretty pure speed check, and a skill set that Chile looked darn good on last match with a near triple FC and a 4.1 million team score, so they're riding high on this pick.
Yeah, the average team score for this map usually hovers around that 3.5 mil. We saw Italy get that just about 2 hours ago in that Spain matchup. Only a 50k point differential there. We'll see if they're a little more warmed up now. Roster being Duke and Bellafigo. We'll have to see if that remains true for this one. I know Italy has a decent backlog of people who could play this map if they're feeling a little inconsistent.
Well, Chile running Gonza Alfie Chalk Gamer intercambing last time. I would expect that to be the same roster. First 3 with a grand total of 2 misses in the last 40 combo on Chalk Gamer. Intercambing just a slider break, so definitely a locked and loaded feeling roster for this map. And I would wonder, we didn't see it last match in a rare set of circumstances. We didn't see No Mod 2 in the last match. Curious if we get that one here, if Chile feels really good on this tapping skill set. But DT2 first, we'll see what we find out.
Yeah, and usually if you're the higher seeded team, you try to avoid some of these mechanics picks, go into some more niche skill sets where you would have the depth advantage, but Chile going into the tapping early, pulling a little bit from France's playbook after getting the breakpoint on this map, feeling good on the day. Same roster for each of these teams as their prior matches today, and we'll have to see if that consistency can hold true for Chile as Italy tries to get their point on the board.
4.1 million from previous match against 3.5 million from previous match. Much closer in Spain versus Italy. Italy only dropping this by 47k in that particular head-to-head versus Chile winning it by almost 800,000 points. So you can see Chile feeling very good. As we head into it, watch for the accuracy, watch for the comfort level on these types of maps. That's a lot of the time something you can judge on early, and there's a weird-looking early break from Duke. I just want to double-check and make sure that wasn't Bancho. I don't think it was. Also, Arj with a miss straight off the jump at about the first 60 combo. So 2FC is already falling for Italy, and another break for Arj, not looking the greatest on this pick. Not super comfortable on the speed either with his act down at 95. Chile, they're doing what you expect them to do on this, right? It's a four-way still going, and the accuracy remaining good for all of them.
Yeah, with that third break coming through for Meow's now, unfortunate buzz slider break there for the Italian players, and Bellafigo left on his lonesome. The original FCs on this map in Italy's previous match were Meow's and Arg, so Alfiu being the sole tradesman there with the break. Shot Gamer, Intercam, and Gonza looking so comfortable once again. This three-man roster on the double time tapping, double time control. You put them next to double time and they're going to make some magic happen, seemingly going to do the same at the halfway point. Already a 400k difference.
Yeah, this one is looking like it might end up being just a tad bit one-sided if we don't see some really strong recovery for Italy in the last third of the map. Outcome practically a foregone conclusion unless Chile, set their tablet pens down and walk away. And what's crazy to me too, thinking about this Chile roster, they have always had Matthew on their teams in the past, and they don't have him this year, and they're still putting up this kind of score. I know we're only in group stage. I know this hasn't scaled to the crazy levels yet, but it does speak to what their country is capable of in terms of depth on speed picks, that they can replace him and still get these crazy team scores.
Yeah, bringing Gonza back really paying some dividends for their stamina roster, as well as Alfiu rounding out that game a little bit. Originally coming onto the scene as the hidden specialist. Did find the slider break a little earlier, but this recovery combo, phenomenal as the final FC drops for Italy. As if it wasn't already a foregone conclusion, that will certainly be confirming some things in our final moments. Chile looking to bring this over the 4 million mark once more in our final burst, and will do the job.
Yeah, unfortunately, the location of the misses for Alfiu there, meaning the team score is just a little lower than last time, but still back-to-back 4 million plus scores, this time with a triple FC on intercamming Gonza and Chalk Gamer, notably Gonza with the 99 AC, highest in the lobby, and the only perfect combo. Very, very impressive team score for Chile on their first pick. Did not miss a beat between last match and this one on that pick, working out quite well for them indeed. 1-0 goes the advantage. They really want that 5-0 in this match for the group point differential's sake, so keep that in mind. But it will be Italy's first pick to come next. Where do we think they might go? Well, the answer's already been given to us. It's Free Mod 3.
Yeah, I mean, France has already shown a little bit of a playbook of what to pick against Chile, with this being their first pick, and it paying off quite well. Going to be similar for Italy here, looking to prioritize some of those hard rock specialists on this team. Kirochi Arj going to be very comfortable if given those mods. Nyx hopping in, one of the newest members of this Italian squad, very strong on the hidden, going to be the fill player there.
We wait for the fourth for Chile. As mentioned, dropped this at the start of that match against Team France. It was intercamming Sif's, Alfiu, and Chalk Gamer there. So it looks like we might see Lasse coming in to replace Chalk Gamer, which was a no-mod player. We'll see if that holds. It was Hidden Hard Rock on Sif's with Hidden on Alfiu. See if those all stay the same. And yeah, I mean, if Italy's feeling super comfy on the aim consistency, this is a super good pick to go to. Chile did not put up the best score on this previously, 2.5 million, losing it by nearly 600,000 points. Looking to improve on that and avoid losing the same map twice in a row. So away we will go. Italy looking to put a point up on the board for the first time in this group stage. Chile looking for a very needed sweep.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, I mean, that hates to be the position if you are one of the Italy players where all the other teams like need a sweep against you to be in a solid position, but Chile looking to make it happen here with this pick. Sif's still on the hidden hard rock, hidden preference player if memory recalls, but first accuracy drops on the side of Italy. Very long map, one of the longest maps in the pool, should not be too big of a problem, but very volatile with some of these longer sliders. You want to make sure you aren't finding those overends.
Yeah, and the length really is a big part of this one, I feel. I mean, a lot of the popular maps in this pool are, you know, sub 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and so this one being 4.5 really is bringing in the consistency question, and it's an early break from Nyx on that hidden for Italy, so it will be advantage to Chile with the 4 FCs still intact. Watch that hard rock on Kirochi, by the way, still perfect accuracy, and being matched by the 3-way. I don't even want to say it, but you gotta say it. So far, literally 3 players that have not dropped 100 yet for Chile, quarter of the way in.
Yeah,
you practice this in between matches?
I would imagine so. They also made the roster change. Shot Gamer originally on this pick on the Nomad, switch for Lasse, still holding the SS Sifs to find that break alongside their second 100 on the slider break. But even then, this is looking quite good despite the slight combo advantage for Italy now on Nyx's recovery. First player to break there is going to be equalized by some of the accuracy drops, even if it is just a total of 10 100s on the Italian side.
And worth noting, of course, Sifs on the hidden hard rock versus the hidden only on Nyx does have that little bit of score multiplier advantage, so that score holding out a bit longer, but this will slowly but surely work its way over toward Italy as it stands currently. But there's a big break. It's Kirochi to fall on the star aim pattern, and that means 2 FCs remain for Italy against 3 for Chile, but Alfiu trades it right back in very little time. So 2 FCs and a big combo for Italy. 2 FCs and a slightly smaller combo for Chile. This is going to stay close, man. This is getting tense as Kirochi breaks. Oh, it's a triple reset for Chile. Alfiu, Sifs, Lasse all fall. So does Nyx, but it's Arjun Meows on the double FC for Italy. Intercamming the only FCs left for Chile. Lead to Italy for the first time in the map.
Yeah, and shout out to chat for this one. Arj looking a little shaky on that Nomad FC. They're going to be looking to hold it, but the SS may be causing some added nerves. Meows as well on that secondary Nomad FC. It's intercamming versus the world here, 2v1, and the longer this goes on, Italy looking to grow their lead to phenomenal numbers in this final quarter. Just so volatile, these triangle patterns, the star patterns from prior, a secondary break from Lasse. And I mean, it is looking like Italy will be preventing their third sweep. Despite that Meow's break, maybe enough has been done. Kirochi and Nyx on the recovery combo still having the advantage.
Yeah, it would have to be Arj missing and probably at least one of those backing combos at this stage. We're getting so late into things, regardless of what intercamming does. Kirochi does fall, but it's really all eyes on Arj. The SS still into the ending. Nyx the next to go. That score gap is going to come down a bit, but oh, there goes Arj. Wait a minute. Okay, this just got interesting. Intercamming is still holding on to the FC. Alfiu and Lasse on the backing combo, outpacing the other 3 members from Italy. Is there going to be intercamming falls, but it's still combo lead to Chile. That score gap is falling. It's at 30k. We're going to come into the last few notes of this map. It's going to determine the outcome. You've got nearly 700 combo on Alfiu. You've got 440 combo on Lasse. It is coming down slowly but surely. 13, 12, 11, 10,000 into the last moments. It's looking like it might just go over the last few circles, come in, and there it flips. And it's going to be Chile breaking the hearts of Italy and their fans. 6,000 points. They take the victory, holding on through the ending. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Highway robbery for the Chileans. Alfio breaking around that center. No 100s dropped, but making it work in the second half with that recovery combo. And that is a heartbreaking loss for Italy. Chile, though, improving their score by wide margins to procure that victory on the first break point. We're only 2 points in this match, and we're already seeing some cinema. Chile looking to keep that up, likely with another tapping pick if that DT2 was a hint of anything to come.
Still got the Nomad 2 available to them, so there is that other kind of pure tapping map. Of course, Fremod 2 as well, the more flow aim-based tapping pick. Couple of choices there if they do want to opt into continuing that skill set. I just feel bad for Italy because that's happened to them, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 times over the course of this weekend. Just these last second losses. That is so painful to see for a team that is unfortunately now 0-12 on maps in the group stage. And it is indeed for Chile going to be the Nomad 2 as the next pick to try to consolidate the break point. They're going 230 BPM. They're going tapping. It's continuing.
I'm cracking up at the chat here. Meows doesn't know which country he's going against. And it's just saying relatively South American things. But looking to keep the tapping strong for Chile. They're looking so consistent on it this week with that DT2 pull. I mean, double 4 million score, likely to do something similar here on the Nomad 2. Same roster, Alfie, Chalk Gamer, Gonza back in the lobby alongside that core intercamping. Italy looking to just, I mean, on these early stage tapping picks, it's all up to these kick sliders. You don't want to find these cheeky over aims. You want to make sure that tapping is warm. This one a little bit lower BPM, a little more accessible, more stamina focused will be beneficial to a player like Arch, who's struggling a little bit on the 255. But still, you have to go against the tapping titans here again in Chile.
Chile has been looking so strong on the tapping picks. Now, notably, I did not see Nomad 2 in their match against France, so I don't have kind of a recent score for them on this pick. I don't recall off the top of my head. I assume they played this against Spain, but I don't remember the outcome offhand. I wish I had that MP. I wish I did. But either way, they're a strong tapping roster, regardless of whether or not they've gotten, what scores they've gotten in the past. So we shall see. It feels like we shall see a very likely 3-0 lead after this one for Chile, unless Italy can really pick it up on the second tapping pick in a row here from Chile. So we've got intercamming Alfie, Chalk Gamer, Gonza, Duke, Arj, Meows, and Nyx. Nomad 2, 230 BPM, just 2 minutes and 19 seconds, as mentioned. A lot of pretty short maps in this pool. And this is looking for a consolidation for Chile, looking for that, kind of straightforward map to the victory in the match.
Yeah, and speaking on that Spain-Chile match, I mean, this sort of feels like proving a point almost for Chile after what occurred in that match. They were missing both Gonza and Chalk Gamer. So Hana Yume Lasse filling in the 3 and 4 for Chile on the tapping picks in that match led to Spain finding those points. And going to be making all the difference is Gonza and Chalk Gamer. Gonza top performing on that DT2 in both matches played today, looking to do the same, still holding on to the SS here. No breaks on either side though, gonna be a very volatile first third, very short map and a double break for Chile. Wait just a minute, maybe Nomad 2 is just the kryptonite.
Those are not breaks, those are both Bancho.
Oh, I've been trolled.
I was thinking it instantly because that was that kick slider pattern. So I was like, those are probably not actual misses, and indeed that was the case. But you can see, kind of the volatility of this map in that you basically have to FC it. If you break, you're in a rough spot because this is so straightforward for all the tapping players, and it is looking like a slider break there from Nyx is the first combo to fall anywhere in the lobby. We're nearly at 1,000 combo 2/3 of the way through. That was the first player to break anywhere. And that's going to work in Chile's favor, pulling out just shy of a 50,000 point lead. Also, Nyx notably has the lowest accuracy by a pretty big margin, which is not going to help, sadly, Italy's chances of making this one work out. It's a four-way still intact for Chile, 1/4 of the map to go. What kind of score will they be able to set?
And 4 FCs held all accuracies above 99. Is going to spell disaster for Italy as Nyx finds that second break. Unfortunately, just a little too much for the Italian player. And even then, this is an Italy overperformance. This is the highest score they've gotten on Nomad 2 all weekend. All 3 FCs held, but all 4 FCs held for Chile. And what a phenomenal team score. Tapping Titans do it again in the face of adversity.
You gotta have the four-way to win this map against the score that Italy just put up, and Chile got the four-way. That is a remarkable team score. A four-way FC all above 99 AC, a triple FC all above 99.3 AC for Italy. That is like the most unfortunate fourth member, just Nyx dropping a couple times, dropping that accuracy down as well. Man, 7 FCs out of 8. Maybe the map is just too easy. I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe these players are just all really good at tapping. Everybody's too good at this skill set now. I think we need to rethink the tapping skill set. It's just too simple for modern OSU players.
We need more finger control. Bring back finger control.
Bring back classic Nomad 6s from like 2021, 2022. Where are my Nomad 6s by, like, down and stuff, bro? Yeah. Azer somewhere shaking his fist at me.
Well, Italy almost getting that point on the Fremont 3. Looking at maybe some of these Hard Rocks. I feel like Hard Rock 2 might be an opening for Italy. Just in the face of Arj and Feroci, your main core members of this Italy team are going to be Hard Rock specialists. And getting them in on a map like HR1, HR2 would be solid, but it's going to be Nomad 5 still sticking to precision. This has been an interesting pick this week with the density elements as well. AR9 on this one alongside that CS7.
Yeah, this feels like the type of map for a lot of players. It's just very tricky to be super consistent on, right? CS 7.4, like there's so few players in the world who are going to be really, really comfy on that. And so maybe, you know, kind of banking a little bit on our best players on this are more consistent than their best players on this, because it's just tough to reliably FC a map like this. You know, compare it to something like the DT2 or the Nomad 2, where if you're a good tapping player, you're going to FC those like, what, 8-9 times out of 10. Something like this, that number is going to be far lower. And lower seeds playing into volatile skill sets is something we've seen work in the past. So I get this. You know, you mentioned the Hard Rock 2, Nomad 5, similar niche. So I get it. I can understand why you go into this as Italy. And you know, let's be honest here. You don't want to see a team go 0-15 in groups. It just feels bad to witness. And so wherever they could get a point on the board, you would really, really like to see it. Whether it's Nomad 5, Hard Rock 2, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and for this one, they're bringing back Bellafigo and Ryuzaki, some of these supporting players for Italy, keeping Arj and Kurochi as anticipated. Hard Rock and Precision Translation. Some of the tech elements in this map going to be a little tricky as well. So we're looking at some of the new players for Chile. Sifs in particular on a map like this could be the make or break difference. Been playing phenomenally today on some of the Hard Rock maps and tech maps. Going to be hopping in for this one as well. Looking to finalize this sweep for Chile in what seems to be a must-sweep situation if it comes down to point differentials in the future.
Yeah, that point differential, we keep coming back to it, but it could very well end up being important, especially if we see France beating Spain next week. That point differential could be huge, so keep that in mind. It's Alfiu and Ryuzaki trading a couple early misses. Looks like Sifs broke in the first, like, 15 combo as well, right? Or 15 or 20 combo right at the start. So You can already see, like, this map is just so much more difficult in terms of being consistent on it than a couple of the maps we've seen previously. And it is going to give Italy just a bit of an early lead. Triple FC against Double FC, even with a couple of breaks from Ryuzaki, they've still got the other three holding on against just Intercamping and Lasse for Chile. The other two doing what they need to. That score is going to come back over, but it's a little slower than you might like if you're rooting for Chile here.
Yeah, it's just the secondary break from Ryuzaki. The recovery combo is so strong on the Chilean side. Alfie and Sifs having no problems since their initial breaks. Just a little bit of getting comfortable with the new CS, especially after having to shred some 230 prior. Similar rosters on both, but Lasse going to be finding that next break not matched by Ryuzaki, giving Italy a slight advantage, but we're getting into this final third, and this final third is so volatile, so difficult in comparison to the rest of the map. Arj, Kirochi both fall, trading with Intercamping, Alfeu to match it. It's all eyes on Bella Figo and Ryuzaki getting the combo when it matters most, despite those early breaks. Is Ryuzaki. Bellafigo falls. Won't be enough. Zip's the only one to hold. It's the rookie doing it once again for this team.
That was so sad to watch for Italy. Once again, a late advantage with late drops and an opponent holding on to a big combo. It has happened so many times to this poor Italian team. My heart really goes out to them as Sips finally breaks, but held on long enough. And that's going to be Chile taking the point eventually by 160k, but man, it was so close for so long. Italy just needed to hold on a little longer to make it happen, and it was not to be. 2 S ranks on either side, but just overall, the better team performance there to Chile. The 819k from Sifs with the late slider break, best in the lobby by 100,000 points. Total margin of victory, 160k. You can kind of do the math on just how close that map could have been. But unfortunately, it goes Chile's way. It's 4-0. Italy down to their last life, and Chile opting at last into that Nomad 3 that's been on the back of our minds since the beginning of this match in the ban phase.
Yeah, this was an inevitability, I think. This was going to happen at some point, especially after the team score that Chile dropped in their previous match. I believe that was hovering around a 3.6 million, which for a Nomad reading pick is a phenomenal level of specialization. It's going to be number 37, Sifs, still in the lobby. Alfeu hopping back in, Intercamping in for all these maps, MVP for Chile, and Italy has to make some magic happen now. I would imagine Nick's going to be hopping back in. He was initially put on this Italian team as the reading specialist, but it's going to be such a tough battle with how indomitable Chile has felt today.
Yeah, and, you know, I suppose the upside of it all at the end of the day, if you're Italy, excuse me, is that all this means, even if you do go 0-15, you still get through groups, albeit into the lower bracket in the bracket stage. So they do have that to remember. But I don't know, 0-15 doesn't feel good. It's unfortunate to see. So we'll see if they can avoid that with those players you mentioned. Chile, though, it almost feels like a different team, and maybe that speaks to just how well Spain is playing. You really have to give them a lot of credit, but it almost feels like a different Chile team today than it does yesterday. As you mentioned, missing a couple players. This is what they look like at full strength, and this is a very strong roster once they've got everybody available to them. They're good at reading, they're good at speed, they're good at a lot of things. As long as they have all 8 players, this is still a team to be reckoned with. I think there was some discussion of like, how good is Chile really after they lost yesterday? And I think we're getting an idea of that today as they ran through France and are now running through Italy.
Yeah, it just so happens that in yesterday's match, they were missing like 2 very notable players of their mechanics roster against the mechanics team of this group. So, I mean, Spain was able to run away with it, especially with this tiebreaker. But Chile, they came back as strong as they could have, I would imagine. I mean, France, they took the picks that it was expected for them to take in the tech-focused maps, but Chile looking so strong otherwise, tapping, no problem for them, reading, no problem for them, and going to remain true, likely, pending a miracle for Italy here as we enter Number 3.
Yeah, we were trying to do a little research recently on finding out when the last reverse sweep of any kind in an OWC was, and like I couldn't find anything going back. I think it took like 4 years or something going back to find any instance of any reverse sweep. So hope is slim here for Italy, but as you said, you really just at least put up a point here, avoid getting completely swept in the group stage. Would just be a good feeling. But on a map like this where Chile is so strong, yeah, that's a tough task for sure. But hey, as of now, granted it's a quarter of the way through, all right, I'm sorry. As of now, as of 15 seconds ago, it was a 4-way on both sides until it wasn't anymore.
Yeah, just a little bit of uncomfortability on some of these stacks. You do your best to just like full alt and aim through the stacks if you aren't as comfortable on this map for Arge, but all 7 FCs make it 6 after that break from Meow's held otherwise. And I mean, the players that you're expecting to do well on this map are. It just so happens that 4 of them happen to be on the Chilean side.
I really, if nothing else, I would like to see No 37, number 37, doing the thing. Like, if nothing else, that would be cool. But we're not going to try to talk about that too much. It's just Chile on the 4-way. Still the double FC on Kurochi and Nyx, right? I mean, like, they're putting their best foot forward on this. Unfortunately, they're up against a pretty dominant reading roster. As I say that, it's Intercamming and Sifs to immediately both break on the same pattern. Lead was already over 300k, so it's not going to be the end of the world for Chile. But hey, it's 2 FCs against 2 now, and recovery combo, technically advantage Italy. So there's that. Still a third of the map to go. It's going to take a lot of work, but still, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, well, Meow's had some extra recovery on top of Sifs, so there was a slight Italy combo advantage there. But also, a lot of the combo density is in our second half of this map. 400k score potential remaining for these FCs. If number 37 or Alfie were to break now, there is a little bit of life in Italy, but it has to happen in like the next 15 seconds. And they are just looking far too comfortable for that to occur as we head into our final KI. And it's all eyes on them, but it's just not happening. The 100 is dropped for number 37, so unfortunately we won't see the thing, but we will get to see Chile finalize what may be the sweep.
Yeah, it's late breaks there from Nyx and from Arge. Kurochi, the FC, still for Italy, but Alfiu and number 37 both there for Chile. Recovery on Sifs. And so, it's going to be Chile. It's going to be 5-0. It is unfortunately for Italy going to be 0-15 in maps played in the group stage. And now things come down in this group to the last match, which is next Sunday. We'll get to that in just a minute. First of all, well done to Chile. Congratulations to them. Tough scenes for Italy, who lost multiple maps today alone by, I think, under 100,000 points or under 200,000 points in cases where they were in the lead until the last quarter. So you can see the potential there. They're close on a lot of these picks, just need to work a little bit on that late map consistency to try to bring things to the finish line instead of just falling short. And maybe, just maybe, they can make that happen between now and the beginning of the bracket stage. They'll go into the losers bracket, so they might have a decent matchup. Chile, though, they will reach a scoreline of 2-1 and a +7 point differential. And that's where things get interesting, don't they?
Oh, yeah. The next week's match, it's a shame that we have to wait a whole week for it, though. But next week's match, France versus Spain, is going to be all eyes for the outcome of this group. It will decide all in the face of Italy, a confirmed finalist in the 4th spot, but 3rd yet to be decided, will be matched by France-Spain next week. And what an exciting group this has been.
Yeah, this is, this is, as I said before after the last match, this is why group stage is back. There's a lot of exciting scenarios, a lot of exciting situations that you just don't get to see in a bracket-only format. Group stage, for, those of you out there watching some of the community tournaments, whether it's Hippo Cup or America's Draft Cup, things like that, these groups can end up with some really fun moments, and we're getting lucky enough to see that happen here. So definitely will not want to miss out on the conclusion of this group. It's currently scheduled for next Sunday, 12 UTC, France versus Spain, the last match here in Group C. And we've got some other matches going on. I'm not positive where we're going to be heading and when. Looks like we have Brazil leading Netherlands 3-1 off stream, Portugal leading Ukraine 3-1 as well over on the main stream. Gonna see what we do in it looks like we're gonna be going over to host the mainstream. So, or are we switching to the match here? Hang on, we'll sort it in just a moment.